remember why you chose to live this life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why you chose to get out. We couldn't decide whether we wanted to live at the ocean, live at the lake, live by the river.
We didn't know.
So now
where
we can do
wanted
all
to
three.
Yeah.
And whenever we want. We can, where do you want to go? I want to go to the river. Okay.
Hey guys, Curtis with Wander with the Workmans here. And from about the second day on the road, Havla and I have maintained that the lessons we learned on that very first trip are at least equal to, if not greater than, all the research we did before hitting the road. Anyone who joins into the RV lifestyle is going to have that first trip, and it is definitely worth it for just the things you learn. Some of those lessons will stick with you for as long as you're on the road. Today we get to talk with Giffords On The Go, and Chris and Suzanne tell us about the lessons they learned and how they use them even today. I saw your intro thing, by the way.
Oh my God, that is the hardest part is actually getting in sync with the whole intro side of thing. I've got this down to where I blow it every time, and that's probably the best part about this is it just gets screwed up every single time.
Okay, ready?
No. She asks that every single time. Every time,
ready?
are you ready? No, I'm never ready to
you
actually
ready?
do this. Yes, all right,
Who are
fine.
you?
I'm Gary. Oh, ladies first.
Hi, my name is Suzanne,
And I'm Chris.
and we are.
Here again. No, we are Giffords On The Go.
We've been traveling about
April of 2017 is when we actually started looking.
we're getting closer to the 2 years.
Yeah, we're coming up on 2 years now.
I would say I would say that our first trip, true to Giffords On The Go, is we left Florida and went to Minnesota, and so it was like 1,200 miles, and we were doing.
It was I needed to be at work in 3 days, and this trip was done
True to fashion.
true to form in just about every trip we've taken. But up until the point we bought our 37-foot travel trailer and long bed truck, I had never towed before. And when you purchase a rig in Tampa, Florida, and you attempt to drive the roads with people that shouldn't have licenses and all of that, it becomes a very challenging. So the short trip was challenging, just getting to the first little park that we stationed at for three or 4 days, and then we hit the road on our first major trip.
And unique to us is we actually have we always have a third vehicle that I lane block, drive behind, watch. I'm watching everything. Something's leaking out of the camper. The first time we hit some bumps and something came flying out of the corner of the camper that was liquid. We didn't know what it was. It turned out it was my coffee maker that had taken the hit. And all the water found the lowest point and went out.
Yeah. So lesson one, make sure everything is secured. When it's your wife's precious coffee maker that makes the mornings the best and happy, and that you make sure that one's actually secured in there.
Which and for us, we thought we used to travel and do 600-700 miles in a day, and somebody thought we could still do that. Just go.
You do have to pull the Band-Aid off, and if you start looking at it, every trip you take is going to be a first trip, because ultimately, unless you've driven that road time and time again, it's still going to be a new adventure, and your weather's going to be different. The people on the road that you encounter are going to be different. There's a pothole that a semi brought in there. So every trip is a first trip that you take. It now becomes how you deal with
the results,
the trip, the reactions. You can get bent out of shape. I've been there. I've done that. Or you can go, it's a new road. This is what it is. It's going to happen. It's an adventure.
I definitely say if you're nervous, so if your question is geared towards people that don't go because they're afraid of the first trip, is if you're that nervous, you need to take the camper empty, and you need to take your whatever pull vehicle and go to a parking lot and just drive around, back up, go in circles, go forward, go backwards, do all the things.
Yeah, that was probably the
gas stations. We aren't diesel at that time. We were gas, and the reality is most truck stops had the high canopies that we had no problem with, but it was finding a pump that could handle our 65 feet long. And it became, I ended up having to go in a lot of times into gas stations and then almost lane blocking a pump or standing there talking to somebody. Are you done? We need this pump. Oh, sorry, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. You know, and it would literally became me doing a lot of coming out of my comfort zone and literally walking up to strangers. Are you done? Because see that truck and trailer right there? He needs this pump.
And when they cut you off and pull in there,
Yeah, their wife is not very pretty. I'm like, hi. Yeah, see that truck and trailer? We've been waiting. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. And I don't know what it is, but I would become like mean. He's like, how did you get them? I just gave him the look. It was the mom look. Communication.
Communication. It is when we can't communicate back and forth. And mind you, she's driving separate and running blocker for me. But that ability to communicate when we need an exit, when we're pulling into a gas station.
Or simply, I've got to go to the bathroom. Can we pull off?
And respecting each other's
Hangry?
Hangry is huge. Respecting hangry is definitely a necessity, because when
that's usually my issue.
when I get into go mode, I could go an entire day and not eat, not think about drinking, not doing anything. I'm just in go. And when I start looking over and I go, oh, I did it again, huh? Well, yeah, I only told you 250 miles ago that I was hungry. It's just listening to each other's needs that is probably the biggest thing.
And parking and setup, you don't let other people interrupt that process. I would say, learning in this last couple of years, is we would literally watch couples tear each other apart because of simply backing in or moving or adjusting a trailer, and we would look at each other and go, we'll never let it take us down. We have to learn to be, okay, this is how we're going to deal with this. This is how we're going to level. This is how we're going to set up. This is how, and we have our things. He does the outside. I do the inside usually. And so it literally, everywhere we go, every park we stop at, it's like, okay, I can do the walk around before he even exits the truck. Okay, we're at least good to begin our setup, begin our leveling, are we going to need this, you know? And I think that's where it's good that not the guy is doing everything and not the girl is doing it. You know, it's like you become a team. We literally become a team.
And be patient with yourself in every aspect of it, from driving to setup to time schedules. It's not going to go the way you want it, no matter what, because you can't predict the traffic, you can't predict the weather, you can't predict anything, and you have to accept what's out of your control. Well, this would be more the Chris doing what Chris generally does type of deal. It's okay, we're gonna do this, let's get in and go.
Balls to the wall.
And by the way, you do remember you have never towed anything in your life, right? So why not go 65, 70 feet in length and choose to do it where some of the most traffic is in the world, and do U-turns, and
I don't know that we had a choice to worry about the anticipation, because we were on a deadline when we were faced with the loss of a job, and we picked up a new job and it was 1,200 miles away. It was wrap up this. We didn't even have a chance to process. It was literally throw what we could that we needed to save in a small storage unit, and the rest was donate. We tried selling, didn't happen, and then it was literally, okay, here we go. And it was
The
and this
hardest,
is why the coffee maker took a hit. I mean, we just didn't know, and so there.
the only thing that can't be replaced is she can't be replaced. I can't be replaced. Everything else in our life. I love my cameras. I love my computers. I love all of that stuff.
That's why we have insurance.
I can replace every bit of it if it
Mm-hmm.
takes a dive. Sometimes if it's outdated and it takes dives, that thoroughly gives me the ability to get something new. So it can be a great thing in that category.
My big defiance is everybody says you can't have glass. And so that became my defiance of I will have a wine glass. It's not going to be solo cup. And I will have a plate occasionally so I switched out my gear. I switched it to Corningware, which doesn't break as easy. And if it takes a dive, it's pretty, it's easy to clean up. But I actually like real coffee cups to drink out of, and I keep them. But I use a lot of that cupboard, the rubber cupboard stays, and everything gets kind of woven and wrapped. And when we're driving down the road, they're still there when we get to the other end.
Our channel
Where can they find you?
Well, same places they can find you. On YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, we are Giffords On The Go. There's actually a Twitter, but we don't utilize that nearly
We're not nearly
as much. Probably the most active is on YouTube, and Instagram are kind of the two that really get most of our attention. Still a learning channel, still growing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not dead set on the RV. We're about experiences, and we want to convey. We don't know what we like in every aspect of life. We're trying to find it. The only way you find out if you like something is you experience it.
Go and do it.
So, I mean, we got married by Santa in Vegas, and then went ziplining as our honeymoon setup. So
yeah, we're about trying to find experiences, but we're not adrenaline junkies. We're not jumping off of cliffs and things like that.
So, you're going to find some RV tutorials on there, but you're going to find about painting. You're going to find about all different kinds of things, because it's who we are. Mm-hmm. We want to find our unique way at some point.
It was great getting to talk to Chris and Susanna Giffords On The Go, and as you can see, whether you have a chance to build up to heading out on the road or you're thrust onto the road through circumstances, there's plenty to learn and there's plenty of adventures to have. So no matter how your first trip starts, it's well worth taking that very first step on an amazing adventure. Be sure to head on over to Giffords On The Go, check out their channel and subscribe to them. Once again, thank you to Chris and Suzanne for sitting down with us. And if you guys want to see more first trip stories, be sure to subscribe to Wander with the Workmans. That button's right below us. If you want to keep up with us on a more spontaneous basis, be sure to check us out on Instagram. We are Wander with the Workmans on Instagram as well. And in the meantime, you guys enjoy that first trip, and we'll catch you down the road.